Snowball's trying to explain the whole Wolf Queen incident to all these people, and yet no one seems to be listening that good. Wolf Queen, Volume 5. Wolf Queen, Book 5 by Wayung Jarth. From the pen of Inzalsalus, 2nd century sage and student of Montokai, 3E119. For 21 years, the Emperor Antiochus Septim ruled Tamriel, and proved an able leader despite his moral laxity. His greatest victory was in the War of the Isle in the year 110, when the Imperial fleet and the royal navies of Somerset Isle, together with magical powers of the Sigic Order, succeeded in destroying Pandonian invading armada. His siblings, King Magnus and Limoth, King Cyphorus of Galain, and Potema with the Wolf Queen of Solitude ruled well, and relations between the Empire and the kingdoms of Tamriel were much improved. Still, centuries of neglect had not repaired all the scars that existed between the Empire and the kings of High Rock and Skyrim. During a rare visitation from his sister and nephew Uriel Antiochus, who had suffered from several illnesses over his reign, lapsed into a coma for months. He lingered in between life and death, while the elder council prepared for the ascension of his 15-year-old daughter Kentra to the throne. 3E120. Mother, I can't marry Kentra, said Uriel, more amused by the suggestion than offended. She's my first cousin, and besides, I believe she's engaged to one of the lords of the council, Mondilius. You're so squeamish. There's a time and place for propriety, said Potema, but you're correct. At any rate, Mondilius, and we shouldn't offend the elder council at this critical juncture. How do you feel about Princess Kakama? Rakama? Kakama. You spent a good deal of time in her company in Farrun. She's all right, said Uriel. Don't tell me you want to hear all the dirty details. Please spare me your study of her anatomy, Potema grimaced. But would you marry her? I suppose so. Very good. I'll make the arrangements then. Potema made a note for herself before continuing. King Leromo has been a difficult ally to keep, and a political marriage should keep Farrun on our side. Should we need them, when is the funeral? Should we need them? What funeral? Asked Uriel. You mean for Uncle Antiochus? Of course, sighed Potema. Anyone else of note died recently? There were a bunch of little Redguard children running through the halls. So I guess Cyphorus has arrived. Magnus arrived at court yesterday, so it ought to be any day now. It's time to address the council, said Potema, smiling. She dressed in black, not her usual colorful ensemble. It was important to look the part of the grieving sister. Regarding herself in the mirror, she felt that she looked all of her 53 years. A shock of silver wound its way through her auburn hair. The long, cold, dry winters in northern Skyrim had created a map of wrinkles, thin as a spiderweb all across her face. Still, she knew that when she smiled, she could win hearts, and when she frowned, she could inspire fear. It was enough for her purposes. Potema's speech to the elder council is perhaps helpful to students of public speaking. She began with flattery and self-abasement. My most august and wise friends, members of the elder council, I am but a provincial queen, and I can only assume to bring to issue what you yourselves must have already pondered. She continued to praise the late emperor, who had been a popular ruler despite his flaws. He was a true septum, a great warrior, destroying, with your counsel, the near-invincible armada of Pandonia. But little time was wasted before she came to her point. The Empress Glycilla unfortunately did nothing to temper my brother's lustful spirits. In point of fact, no whore in the slums of the city spread out on more beds than she. Had she attended to her duties in the imperial bedchamber more faithfully, we would have a true heir to the empire, not the half-witted milksop bastard who calls themselves the emperor's children. The girl called Kintyra is popularly believed to be the daughter of Glycilla and the captain of the guard. It may be that she is the daughter of Glycilla and the boy who cleans the cistern. We can never know for certain. Not as certainly as we know the lineage of my son, Uriel, the eldest true son of the Septim dynasty. My lords, the princess of the empire will not stand for a bastard on the throne. That I can assure you. She ended mildly, but with a call to action. Posterity will judge you. You know what must be done. That evening Potema entertained her brothers and their wives in the map room, her favorite of the imperial dining chambers. The walls were splashed with bright, if fading, representations of the empire, and all the known lands beyond Atmor, Jokunda, Akavir, Pandonia, Thrace. Overhead, the great glass domed ceiling, wet with rain, displayed distorted images of the stars overhead. Lightning flashed every other minute, casting strange phantom shadows on the wall. "When will you speak to the council?" asked Potema as dinner was served. "I don't know if I will," said Magnus. "I don't believe I have anything to say. I'll speak to them when they announce the coronation of Kintyra and Sepphoris, merely as a formality to show my support and the support of Hammerfell." "You can speak for all of Hammerfell," asked Potema. With a teasing smile, "the Red Guards must love you very much." "We will have a unique relationship with the Empire in Hammerfell," said Sepphoris' wife, Bykeen. "Since the Treaty of Stros Mackay, it has been understood that we are part of the Empire, but not a subject." "I understand you've already spoken to the council," said Magnus's wife, Helena pointedly. She was a diplomat by nature, but as the Cyrodiilic ruler of an Argonian kingdom, she knew how to recognize and confront adversity. "Yes, I have," said Potema, pausing to savor a slice of braised jalfbird. What's a jalfbird? Snowball has never seen that one before. "I gave them a short speech about the coronation this afternoon." "Our sister is an excellent public speaker," said Sepphoris. "You're too kind," said Potema, laughing. "I do many things better than speaking." "Such as?" asked Bynke, smiling. "Might I ask what you said in your speech?" asked Magnus suspiciously. There was a knock on the chamber door. The head steward whispered something to Potema, who smiled in response, and rose from the table. "I told the council that I would give my full support to the coronation, provided they proceed with wisdom." "What could be sinister about that?" Potema said, and took her glass of wine with her to the door. If you'll pardon me, my niece Kentira wishes to have a word with me. Kentira stood in the hall with the Imperial Guard. She was but a child, but on reflection Potema realized that at her age she was already married 2 years to Mantiarco. There was a similarity to be certain. Potema could see Kentira as a young queen with dark eyes and pallid skin, smooth and resolute like marble. Anger flashed momentarily in Kentira's eyes on seeing her aunt, but emotion left her, replaced with calm imperial presence. Queen Potema, she said serenely, I have been informed that my coronation will take place in 2 days' time. Your presence at the ceremony will not be welcome. I have already given orders to your servants to have your belongings packed, and an escort will accompany you back to your kingdom tonight. That is all. Goodbye, Aunt. Potema began to reply, but Kentira and her guard turned and moved back down the corridor to the stateroom. The Wolf Queen watched them go, and then re-entered the map room. Sister-in-law, said Potema, addressing Beinke with deep malevolence, you ask what I do better than speaking. The answer is war. Uh-oh, sounds like war. On the Empire. And only at Book 5. Have a good day. Bye-bye.